Hello everybody, and welcome to the Colorado Jugger League. I'm your host, Sebastian Seabass Wolf, and I am so excited to have you all here today. We're going to take a look at our overall league standings here, so despite not many games being played, we are seeing the leaderboard starting to shake out just a bit. You can see the Reapers here have taken the top spot, and then followed that by the Dranger and the Marauders tied for second, and then Phantoms and Zero Fox are going to be lining up those last spots, but again, this could be going in any direction. And speaking of our featured matchup here today, we have Zero Fox versus the Phantoms. These two new teams are going to be duking it out to see if they can solidify their standings and move forward from there. We're going to take a second to look at the Phantoms roster. So we've got their captain, DCO, followed by Eggers, Adrenaline, and Barbed Wire. We've got a Quick Slash, Chain, and Slash, respectively. Moving forward on that roster, we have Cinder, Hugama, Joe, and Meat Shield. They'll be rounding out some of this roster. And we have a very deep one here today with Mercenary, Saber, and Zephyrus all rounding out that line. Now, Zero Fox has opted not to have any pictures here on their roster, so we're going to talk a little bit about the sport in general for a second. If you are interested in checking out Jugger either in Colorado or any state nearby, check out our social media links down in the description below, and we will get you started here with this sport. Now, as far as these videos go, if you like everything you've been seeing here Jugger related, do remember to like and hit subscribe on this video. Every single like helps us with the YouTube algorithm and make sure that we can get to as many eyes as possible. If this is your first time seeing Jugger and you've never seen anything like it before, we're going to take a very brief moment here to go through some of the rules and regulations of Jugger before we get into the action of today's game. Jugger is a competitive sport played between two teams. 4 enforcers armed with Pomfin and able to defend themselves, and 1 quick who has nothing and is the only player able to grab the ball in the center, known as the skull. After a countdown, the players enter the field and face off against each other in the center. The enforcers spar with their Pomfin while the quick fights for control of the skull. If a player is struck by a Pomfin, they drop for a set amount of time, temporarily taken out of the action. Using a variety of Pomfin from the spear-like Slash or Short and Shield to the intimidating Chain, an 8-foot ball on a rope, enforcers must work as a team to deal with their opponents while creating an opening for their quick to grab the skull. Once the quick sees an opening, they rush for the skull and then for the goal, placing the skull inside it and scoring a point for their team. Alright everybody, let's get right into the action. We've got Phantoms and Zero Fox screaming down the line on both sides. You can see the Chain there on the inside of the Phantoms going to get one and also go down. Zero Fox are moving into position. Their Chain on the outside going to get some good zones. They're going to take a first down, actually get some pins. You can see once again there, Tuffle moving in, going to free a pin as well on their side, get them down for 8. Phantoms forced to ice the skull over to the side of Zero Fox. Zero Fox are going to be close to possession, but Phantoms are actually getting back up and moving into position. A lot of lost pins here. Pins are going to be freed over and over again. Phantoms are now up in force. 3 of them on their side. A beautiful chain shot as well on the side of the Phantoms. And then once again going to take another one down. That's almost everyone down on the side of the Phantoms. They miss the friendly fire there, and Phantoms are running in this time around with the skull. They're going to try and go in. We get a goal called. Was it fast enough? And yes, it was. Phantoms put a point on the board. First one, and they're going to take the lead. Zero Fox had a great opportunity to capitalize there. They just couldn't hold the pins in the right spot. Phantoms, beautiful defensive play, get themselves back up, ready to go, and they get the early lead on their side. Alright, as we move into the second point, we can see an attempted jump in the center will work, but both sides will go down. Both quicks are also going to go down, so Skull in the middle, neutral possession. Excellent work there by the side of the Phantoms. Once again, going to take most of the Foxes down. Fox is going to attempt to ice the Skull, but don't get it very far, and Phantoms are going to pick it up. They're going to be right back in the action and attempting to guide themselves back in. They are moving in very, very quickly. They're going to sprint down the line, and there it is. That's point number 2 for the Phantoms. Excellent job this time around. They collapse the center, they get their pins, and they're playing very good Jugger on their side. Here we go, moving into the third play. Phantoms up 2-0. We're going to see both sides entering the field here in just a second, and here they come once again. We've got Joe on quick this time around for the Phantoms. Excellent job once again by the Mercenary taking down one on Chain. Very wild, big chain swings, but it's more than enough to zone everybody off, and Joe's going to run it in very quickly, and that'll put him up 3-0 for an early lead on the side of the Phantoms. Zero Fox really had a great opportunity right at the beginning here to try and close out a few points, but Phantoms since then have been very dominant on the field. Let's take a nice observational look here at the Phantoms on this next play, see what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong. And we can see their line is a bit off-center, but they're very quick to the skull and they get the flick really early. This time around, the quick from the Zero Fox is going to try charging in, but great zone control by the Phantoms, and they are going to take yet another point. So, from an analytical point of view, the Phantom's line is a little bit off-center. The reason you don't want to be staggered on the line most times is because it means that you can have off-centered matchups where opponents can move left or right and take down one of your teammates. Now, that being said, Phantoms are winning their 1v1s excellently on the line, so they're able to really capitalize early on. We see a bit of a sliding charge there. We'll see if we draw a foul there, center line, kind of both sides making contact with each other. This time around, Zero Fox get a lot of good hits. They actually managed to take down most of the side of Phantoms, and they even have skull possession. It's not going to matter, though, as Adrenaline is going to wait for the ref to put that ball back inside there, and there it goes. Adrenaline now is going to be moving up the field, trying to zone away from Zero Fox. Many enforcers up, but great job this time by Joe, actually going to get several of them, but Foxes close in. They're going to force neutral skull possession, and now they are back in control. Great defensive play by the Foxes, forced to ice it once again as they move up the line, going to pick it back up, but that dropped a couple of stones. I think a late ice there on the side of the Foxes. We'll see if that one gets called as well. And the Phantoms are now going to move up, getting back in possession, but they are going to go down, and I think with that, we are called at halftime. So with halftime, the score is 4-0 as everyone switches sides. Looks like no flags or redo points here called on the side, so everyone is good. No need to redo point as we're going to move into half number 2. Zero Fox, much better defensive play that time around. I think they just have to be a little less afraid of that skull possession, you know? We're seeing a very quick eagerness to ice that skull out of the way. Rely on your enforcers. Don't worry about those couple of extra stones. This time around, a bit of a collapse in the middle from both sides. Great job by Tuffle. Takes out several of them along the lines. Looks like Chain is also going to go down. Okay, there we go. We got the play resolved here by the referees. A quick ice once again by Zero Fox. Puts them in a bit of a bad position as Adrenaline is going to get possession of the skull. Moving up here, excellent play by the side of the Phantoms. Looks like they are going to hold that skull possession and continue to stall out the game. A couple of pins. They're now going to start moving up their side of the field. And as they move up, multiple enforcers are going to be covering. Attempted chain jump there doesn't quite work, but it doesn't matter as the quick goes down on both sides. Once again, neutral skull here, this time on the side of Zero Fox. They are going to pick it back up. Looks like they're going to be running for it, but a sprint to try and stop them is going to go through. Excellent job by Phantoms. Outrun the other quick and save that play. They are back in possession of the skull, and they are sprinting it downfield as fast as they can. Very quick duel there, but it looks like Isaac is going to come out on top. Excellent job on their side, but once again, Quick's going to go down, and we're in neutral skull possession. Zero Fox have got to score here if they want to try and tie the game up. We are getting very close to a full half in a singular play. This time around, Zero Fox once again in possession, sliding move by the Phantoms is going to take him down, and we are in neutral possession yet again. This time around, Phantoms get some multiple pins. They're going to be holding steady. They know all they have to do is run out the clock here, and they win the game. Multiple pins continue to go on this side of the field for the Phantoms. Are they even going to be able to get back in skull possession? It's possible their quick is pinned further down the field, but it's not going to matter if they can stall it out, and Zero Fox can't do anything. A slow push here on their side, and there comes the quick. Moving down the field, they're finally going to get skull possession back. Excellent job. They're unable to free a couple of pins. This time around, Tuffle's going to move up the field. Will they be able to get to Adrenaline in time? Chain is going to neutralize him out, and once again, the quick is going to go down for 8 stones. As we see the Chain moving on, Chain duck there. Chain excellently shield blocked. Oh, just barely gets him there. Moving in, trying to free the quick and get the skull back in the side of Phantoms, but it's not quite going to go through yet. We see the Chain facing down. Excellent chain block, moving in on the pin. Very good attempt, still dueling back and forth. They are managing to get their quick back up and in possession here as the clock is continuing to burn, but it looks like Tuffle is going to move up on the backside. Adrenaline is going to get possession of the skull once again, moving into the back, and is going to be stabbed in the back, taken down once again. Skull is neutral, no one in possession as everyone on the field goes down, both sides fighting as much as they can. This time around, Skull is once again going to get dropped. They're back in possession. Phantoms moving up the field, and just like that, the game is going to get called. A full 100 stone play will end the half exactly as we saw it start. start with Phantoms at 4, Zero Fox at 0. A beautiful half, a very valiantly fought play there, and just like that, Phantoms are going to take the game over Zero Foxes. Thank you all so very much for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time at the Colorado Jugger League.